Hello folks, welcome to Legacy IAS. In today's video, we will be discussing a current affair topic presented to you by your faculty Sushma KP. So what is the topic we will be discussing today? We will be seeing about certain breakthroughs and discoveries in the health sector. In this article, we will be discussing as to why is it in use, what is the relevance of it to your UPSC, that is your GS paper 3 as well as your prelims, and we will be looking into certain key highlights. Look at this. We are in 2024, that is post-pandemic or your post-COVID-19 world, wherein the burden of non-communicable diseases something that isn't spread through your water droplets, saliva, contact, so that is your non-communicable diseases. The burden of this is rather increasing. Whereas if you observe your 2024, this has been a considerably good year considering the number of breakthroughs and discoveries we have been discussing. So in this video, we will be seeing of what are those breakthroughs and discoveries. Your FDA has approved drugs, your Ozempic and Wegovy, wherein it is mainly to deal with glucagon-like peptides, which will help in managing your type 2 diabetes. But this is not just it. There are certain associated factors to it. What it is, we will be seeing. Your Novo Nordisk's Ozempic. This contains semaglutide. Now this drug was initially approved by your FDA for managing your type 2 diabetes. But what happened was, this drug started getting off-label use for chronic weight management. What do I mean by off-label use? Meaning, it is as the name states, the label it is not mentioned. That is, now each time when you take up a drug or a medicine, anything, you will have no for what this is for. This drug's original intention was not for weight management, but this has been proven successful in weight management. This is the concept of off-label use. Now, this Novo Nordisk's Ozempic is now acting as a two-pointer. One, it controls type 2 diabetes and also aids in the weight management. Now look at this, Denmark's Wegovy. Now this is, look at this, a pencil or a pen kind of injectable. Again, this is also used for treating your type 2 diabetes. But alongside, when in a control group it was tested, not just out of placebo, but this drug is actually aiding weight management. Your 2024 pay, what we have observed is, for effective weight management, multiple breakthroughs and discoveries have been seen. One such is your Wegovy. Your Eli Lilly's Zepbound. This contains tirzepatide, which is again used to treat chronic weight management, or this is very much helpful in your obesity, treating obesity. It tries to create a feeling of fullness. While you eat, you tend to stop eating. When you feel full, this drug tries to create or mimic that feeling that you are full. So this is one of the ways where it is aiding in the weight management, or it is helpful in weight loss in your obesity. Now whatever drugs we discussed up until now, they've all had FDA approvals. Now it is a good news, right? But one of the issues with bringing these kind of drugs to your developing countries or least developed countries is the issue with patent rights. It makes it very difficult and costlier for your developing and least developed countries. But the good news is, cheaper generics are on the way. I just mentioned they have patent rights, then cheaper generics. So let's deal with this. In 2026, the patent rights are coming to an end. So which means generic medicines can be made, which means same medicine but with different alternate combinations is called as generic medicines. This will be a very big benefit for your developing countries and least developed countries. Your China is already gearing up its pharmaceutical sector to create a range of generic drugs because why? 2026 the patent right of these FDA approved drugs are ending. Now India being also a lead country with respect to generic medicines can take huge advantage of this. Look at this. India's drug regulator has approved for tirzepatide in chronic weight management. This is again for what? It is for chronic weight management. Remember I told you it creates a feeling of fullness. But one condition is, when this drug is approved, that is for New Year's a lot of companies are deciding to release it in India. But one condition that your India's drug regulator has held is to conduct phase 4 clinical trials for these drugs, because in the previous section the phase 4 clinical trials were not conducted. Now what is this phase 4 clinical trial? That is, after the drug has been introduced into the market, you do a survey as to how is it affecting the people, is it actually helping them or not. So it is a survey that you conduct after the product is released into the market. Many companies are gearing up for your bioequivalence trials, meaning 2026 your patent rights will end, which means generic medicines can be created on that. Now they are gearing up, many companies are gearing up to conduct this bioequivalence trials, meaning what? Seeing whether the original drug, what is generic drug I told you, changes in the composition, alternatives will be used, but same effect, both will have the same effect. Your bioequivalence trials means to see whether the generic drug is giving the same effect as that of the original drug. If this is achieved, then this generic drug is a hit. Then this huge breakthrough in your cancer, in your immunotherapy and personalized treatment. What is immunotherapy? Which means you use your immune system, modify it and fight the cancer. Personalized treatment, this is very largely seen in your UK, wherein let's take bowel cancer example. They are specifically dealing with this, almost it is a congregation of 30 more odd institutes and hospitals where they are trying to deal with one issue, find that out and then move ahead to other things. So it is a personalized as to what causes it, what is the issue associated with it. We have started with the CAR T cell therapy. Look at this. President of India, this is the very first that we are having in India. President of India launches India's first homegrown gene therapy for cancer developed by IIT Bombay, Tata Memorial Service and Immuno Act. World's most affordable CAR therapy, NextCAR19, puts India firmly on the global map of advanced cell and gene therapy. What is your CAR T therapy? This is a very important step in your immunotherapy in fighting against your cancer. What is this CAR T therapy? Your T cells, which are nothing but your lymphocytes, are taken. They are modified to attack, target and kill your cancer cells. Once they are modified, they are injected back into you. Then they go attack the cancer cells. In India, Bangalore based pharmacy Immunual as well as partnering with Biocon, They have come up with CAR T cell therapy, Imagine, and they have started for trials. Another thing with respect to fighting your cancer is Origin Oncology Limited, which is an arm of your Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, has started the first trial of new CAR T therapy, DRL 1801. This is for treating multiple myeloma, or this is a sort of blood cancer. They have entered, that is, first trial has already been conducted and it has led to very positive results, which has prompted them to enter the second phase of trials. This is very good news in this regard. The CVLP in the UK, or otherwise Cancer Vaccine Launchpad, which will personalize cancer vaccines made using mRNA technology. This example we discussed, right? For example, bowel cancer. People have started taking up this with a pairing of 30 odd institutes to come up with the issues as to what is causing this, what is the triggering factor, what has led or what stage is the person in, what kind of. India is also trying to roll out HPV shot in India from 2025 onwards as part of its vaccination campaign. If you see in India, majorly 20% of women suffer through cervical cancer. HPV, what does it mean? Human papillomavirus. 20% of women in India suffer because of cervical cancer, and this is preventable with a HPV shot. Another issue is with respect to your genital warts. Your HPV shot acts as a shield against this. This also covers your genitals, throat. So it acts as a shield against this virus. This is a life-threatening. When I say life-threatening, people lose their lives over this while it is curable. That is your HPV shot. When we speak about Alzheimer's disease, now we all know it is something related with your memory issues and the fact that you start forgetting. It's a more of cognitive issue. One thing with regard to your Alzheimer's disease is there is no cure. For example, in the early onset of dementia, certain corrective actions can be made rather than a complete cure. One of the reasons of your Alzheimer's disease is clumping of your amyloid beta plaques. Now your amyloid, this is a naturally occurring protein in the body. What happens is when they start clumping like this, look at this, they create these plaques or amyloid beta plaques which affects your cognitive function, wherein you are not able to do as a counter to this. Again, this is not a cure to Alzheimer's, there is no cure to Alzheimer's, but rather there is a way of reducing this excessive amyloid plaques. But this is approved only for adults in the early stage of Alzheimer's, not in the mature state of Alzheimer's. There is considerable achievements in the field of your gene editing where, look at this, Casgevy and Lyfgenia, these are the first cell-based gene therapy to treat sickle cell disorders in your 12 plus years of age. What is this sickle cell disorder? This is your normal blood cell. Look at the shape of it. Sickle cell is the shape of your hemoglobin is just this. It is shape of a sickle, thus the name sickle cell anemia, which means the lifetime of this is very small, very short. It dies fast, which creates excessive anemic conditions. So, this is the first stage in the gene editing. Next, look at this. Boston-based Verve Therapeutics has come up with Verve 101 and Verve 102, which helps in reducing your bad cholesterol or your LDL, low density lipoprotein. This is considered as a bad cholesterol, whereas your HDL or high density lipoprotein is considered as a. Now these are some of the discoveries and breakthroughs that is currently happening. We have reached the end of the content. If you do like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button and share it along with your friends. Thank you.